Hello, everyone. I'm Lopi Clint. Welcome to Late Night Meditation. As always, it's great to be here online with all of you, whether you're watching from Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. So, hello again, everyone. Hi, Eric. Hi, Dad. Hello, Beverly, Vivi, Hope, K-Noon, iPhone. Hello, Mom. Thanks for joining in here on Zoom. Also, hello, Julie and Haguso on YouTube. And hi, Pat. Thanks for joining in here on Zoom. And everyone watching on Facebook and Twitch. Of course, if you're watching on Facebook, I am streaming to several pages at once. So if you don't see my face at the top corner, very likely I can't see your comment right now, but I'll always go back and reply, as many of you already know. So, I hope everyone's doing well. Happy Wednesday. Also, I hope you're all doing your homework. In case you forget or you're new to the channel, the homework is whatever you're doing, have relaxation and awareness. It's a great way to help you practice meditation outside the meditation hall. I see more people coming in. Hello, Matt. Thanks for joining in here on Zoom. Hello, Zendog. Hi, Anna Maria. And hello, Hannah. Thanks for joining on YouTube. Oh, and Kunyan on Facebook. As always, it's great to be here with you all, and I'm so very glad that our classes get bigger. It's always nice because then we know who's here together, even though there's more than the people I say, but I know some people are shy to type in. So no problem. So bye, so bye. And as we practice together, as always, take your time, take it easy. Growth happens gradually, little by little. You'll get better. But if you try to force or push, it's like you're walking into a wall, but then you're just trying to walk through it. It's not gonna work. Okay? So take your time, take it easy. And oh, hello Ivy. Thanks for saying hi on YouTube. So as today is our Wisdom Wednesday, so we start off with a short meditation in the beginning. As you meditate, again, take your time, take it easy. I can't emphasize this enough. You hear me say it multiple times every time we meditate. And it's not just for you, it's a reminder for me too. Because sometimes, due to my years of experience, knowing what's supposed to happen, I unintentionally go, it's almost there, it's almost there. Wait, no, I'm not supposed to do that. So understand if you're doing that too. It's okay. It's a pretty normal thing that happens. Just when you realize it, stop it. It's okay. Take your time. Enjoy. Let it happen. Okay? All right. Then, if everyone's ready, let's get into our perfect position, as I like to call it, because it's perfect for you. And when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Taking a deep breath. Breathe in the cool, calm, relaxing air. And breathe out all your worries, thoughts, and responsibilities. Just let it all go. Forget about it for the time that we are meditating. Just breathe in, breathe out. Let each breath of fresh air help you become more relaxed, more comfortable. Taking a few more deep breaths, as this is a natural and easy way to relax. And once you are ready, you can return to normal breathing. And as we know, allow yourself to really relax first. In fact, let's imagine or remember the most relaxed you've ever felt. And allow that feeling to flow throughout your entire body. from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Letting every muscle in your body release, relax. As we do so, it allows our body to be at ease, able to sit still without really trying. As I mentioned to you all before, the lesson used to be, sit still, don't move. It's not wrong, but it was meant for people hundreds of years ago. Because to sit still and not move, nowhere does it ask you to tense up. Even though we unintentionally start doing that when we hear those words. We have to go back to the basics. Relax your body, relax your mind. When your body and mind are synced, able to find calm, comfort, peace, as well as awareness. It all falls into place naturally, comfortably. Meditation is a very interesting activity. It's an activity where we quite literally stop doing. We're not doing anything, or at least we're not supposed to. Being able to not do, but also still be conscious. Because you can also not do by sleeping, but you only get half the benefits of meditation, just relaxation. As I'm sure you've all had this experience, where you can sleep a full 8 hours or more, and when you wake up, you feel more tired than before you went to bed. Even though you had plenty of rest, your body got to rest, but your mind was still working overtime. If your mind is tired, your body is unable to function. So not just caring for the body, but also caring for our mind. Meditation helps us allow our mind to take a break. We don't need to be thinking all the time. It's okay to simply observe. Many times we're just so automatically searching, checking, judging, finding reason, faults, critiquing. There's always so much that's going on that happens almost automatically because we've been taught this way in formal education, to plan and think, to process. But when it comes to meditation, it's time for us to turn off those functions, not try to find a reason or fault, not to critique or judge. Just simply observe, enjoy. One of my teachers told me, It's very much like going to the theaters. We walk in, find our seat, and just enjoy the show. And just like any other show, sometimes you like it, sometimes not so much. But our job is still to still, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. It is not our job to get up on stage and begin acting, or to become the director. We just sit back, relax, enjoy the show. And at first, it might feel a little awkward or feel like you're not used to it, which is understandable because we've been trained to just keep thinking, planning, doing something, when in reality, it's okay to stop, to slow down. And while it is great if you have time to meditate for hours, you don't necessarily need many hours to benefit from meditation. The main thing is knowing how to do it, and then just taking time when you have time. And even times where we don't have time, that's why I share with you the homework, to have relaxation and awareness in everything you do. A great way to help you practice outside the meditation hall. And when we have time together, or you're fortunate to go to a center and meditate with a group, then we can recharge and go in deeper, little by little. So as we practice, please don't force, don't push. Take your time. After all, meditation should never feel like work. It should feel like a mini vacation. Now, let us continue in silence, letting our mind be calm, clear, and peaceful. Now, let us begin spreading loving kindness. Spreading loving kindness is like spreading out your heart, sending out good intentions to all beings. So let us visualize your object as we have been doing, and imagine that your object becomes crystal clear, clean and bright. And at the center of your object, there is a bright light. This light is very special. All those who touch this light are instantly happier, healthier, and more at peace. So we let this light illuminate our body, filling our body with light. And let this light shine out from you, filling the room. And let this light spread far and wide, filling the city, filling the state or province, filling the country and the surrounding countries, until filling the entire world and now throughout the universe. Thinking of our loved ones, our family, our friends, our close and distant relatives, our co-workers, acquaintances, all the people you know, and all the people you don't know, to all sentient beings, all the animals in this world, even thinking to the heavens, to our friends and relatives who have passed away, wishing well for every one of them. And as we are spreading loving kindness, let us make a wish together for us all to be happy, healthy, wealthy, successful, to gain wisdom, attain enlightenment, for world peace. Let us take a moment to make our own good wishes. Ve Buddha Parapata Pacceka Nanchayang Palang Arahanta Nanjate Jenarakam Pantami Sapaso Sapaputanupavena Sapatamanupavena Sapasankhanupavena Sattha Soti Bhavantu Te. And now, very gently and at your own pace, opening your eyes. Take your time as we slowly come back. You can take in a few deep breaths, do a little stretch if you'd like, as we slowly come back. How is everyone feeling? Take a moment to notice how you feel right now, now that we finished. Even though Wednesday is a shorter session, but it's still an opportunity to see how we're doing. Because every session is either a good session or an almost good session. There are no bad sessions. Because we always learn something from it. What we should do or what we shouldn't do to help us continue to get better and better. So, as I see more people came in, hello Hudo. I saw you on YouTube and now you're here on Zoom. Hello Andrew on Facebook. And hello Ellen and Sue on YouTube. Okay, so for today, the wisdom talk I wanted to share with you all is something, I guess, a little bit more heavy than usual, at least than the other ones that we've had before. But I think it's a good one to talk about, especially since we're so close to, what do you call it? As tomorrow is kind of a day that people remember as something not always so great, but as tomorrow's 9/11, for a lot of our Americans, we remember that day, and it's not a very happy thought. But I thought, you know what, today we should talk about grief and dealing with it at least. Now, because grief is talked about in many different ways, I decided to share with you in the sense of both psychology and Buddhism. So, when we're dealing with grief, in psychology, they have these things they call stages, though in reality, we know they're not stages because you don't go one by one. You kind of jump around. So, the first stage they usually say is you have denial, feeling like, oh, no, it's not happening, right? From there, we tend to have anger, this feeling of why is it like this? Why does it have to be this way? It shouldn't be this way. Why? Right? We have this anger happens. From there, we start to have bargaining. Bargaining is where you're like asking for a higher being to help you. You're praying to God, asking for this and that to not be true, this and that. We start to do this kind of thing. After that, then there's tends to be depression. That feeling of you lose all the color in your life. And then eventually there's acceptance. You finally get it and go, I understand and I'm going to try to move forward. It's where you finally realize, or it's when you finally go, okay, fine, it has happened, it's fact. And it's moving from fact to allowing yourself to move forward. Of course, that's not easy, okay? All these stages are, or these stages are not easy to get through. They all take time. So, understanding that the one we talk about is acceptance, because that's the main thing that we're really processing it. It's where we get to really see, and how can you do it is by starting to express. If you can start to express into words or a creative outlet, this is just some ways of how psychology is explained, of ways of how we can practice and process a little bit easier by starting with expressing through words, like having a journal or painting, some other creative outlet. There's many different things you can do. From there, it's important to connect with others. This is the one that I really agree with. When you connect with others, as in friends, family, or even new friends, create new friends in new environments. When you have that connection with people, it tends to help you out, helps you see in different views, helps you move forward. It's also okay to ask for help if you need it. Not only that, there's also things where something similar to meditation, like deep breathing. For example, this is good for our anger, helping us go slow down. It's a great way to help us start a process. Other things are having small realistic goals, getting enough sleep and movement each day. These are just some of the health benefits that we can start doing. And of course, like eating healthy, keeping hydrated, because our body and mind need to go together. This is why these things are important. Not only that, if you know you have to meet up with people who know about what you're grieving with, it's actually good to practice how you will respond, practicing how you would answer a certain question, this and that. That way, when it inevitably happens where people ask you how you're doing about this and that, then at least you have something you can be able to say that's rehearsed. Because when you're grieving, you usually don't want to talk. and it's understandable. So this is why it's good to practice in this thing. This is what psychology says. Now, in Buddhism, we agree that there are a lot of these stages. Yeah, it's also in there. But the main big difference is our acceptance, compassion, and sorry. So acceptance and compassion. There's supposed to be another one in there. It got slipped out. But it goes into a story of Gisa Gotami. Now, this is a very famous story of this lady who her child sadly passes away. Okay? So in the story that her child passes away and she just will not accept it. She just it can't happen. How can this be? My baby's not dead. I just need to find a cure to save my baby. So she's going all over the place, from doctor to doctor, asking for a cure, finding a way to help her baby come back to life. And everyone can just, all they can do is just kind of nod their head and, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. And so some people say, hey, why don't you go see the Buddha? He probably has a cure for you. So she went to go see the Buddha, asked him, please, is there a way I can save my baby? The Buddha says, seeing that she's not quite ready to listen to reason yet, he decided to tell her, yes, there is a cure. Giving her that understanding of, oh, there is a way. It helps kind of open up her heart and open up her mind to accept. Oh, what do I need to have? The Buddha says, you need a mustard seed. And mustard seeds back then were like, it's like salt and pepper in everyone's house. This is India, okay, at the time. So everyone has mustard seeds. So she goes, yes, get a mustard seed. But this mustard seed must come from a home that has never had death. So in a home or household that has never had someone pass away. So she went to every house asking, oh, hey, can I have a mustard seed? Oh, yeah, go ahead, have it. She's like, wait, in this house, has anyone ever passed away? Has anyone ever died? It's like, yes, they'll talk. And then every house she went to, everyone would have their story of who they have lost. Their family member, their loved ones, right? By then, she finally accepts it, realizing this is something everyone goes through. He's dead. There's no way I can bring him back, or the baby. So, eventually, she decides to become a nun, and then she enlightens. She eventually reaches enlightenment in her monastic journey. So, luckily, this has a very good ending. But the main thing is just talking about how we need to learn how to let go, understand that it is reality. This is the nature of reality. We are born, we get older, we get sick, and we die. And it's not always in that order. The only thing that's for sure is birth and death. It's always that order. But everything in between, not always so sure. So, for acceptance, what I tell you is, in Buddhism we talk about the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths, in summary, is there is suffering, there is a beginning of suffering, there's an end to suffering, and there's a way of how we can do it. Pretty much a pathway, which is what we call the Eightfold Path. Sorry. But in general, it's us realizing the nature of reality. We have a nature to age. We sicken. We die. This is just reality. By starting to understand it, we start to accept. Now, accepting doesn't mean, okay, well, I'm going to die anyway. Kill yourself. No, that's not it at all. It's understanding it so we're not reckless with the time we have. When we realize, it's like this one. This is a quote that I found from a Zen Studies podcast. I really liked it. She says, grief is love in the face of loss. Do you want to stop loving in order to stop feeling grief? This is from Domio, or that's her name. And it's really nice because realizing that you're going to feel it anyway because of your loving. Your love is your attachment. That deep attachment makes you grieve, makes you feel very sad, makes you go through all those different stages. And this is what happens with attachment. This is why the Buddha teaches us to have non-attachment. It's not so much that attachment is bad, but all attachment will always bring suffering. It's not saying that attachment is bad, but you have to understand that this is going to bring suffering. The suffering is this feeling of loss. When we have it, we're very, very happy. Once it's gone, taken, no longer there, we feel that sadness. And this is just reality. So understand that. It's detachment, not loving, okay? Detachment as in we're understanding that it's okay that when it ends, because it's not a if, it's a when. When it ends, I'll understand and try to move forward. But it doesn't mean no longer loving. Easy example, I'm a monk, right? And I love my parents. And I was kind of a mama's boy. But now as a monk, especially in Theravada Buddhism, we're not allowed to touch women anymore. So I can't even give my mom a hug. So this is just an example. If my parents passed away, of course I'll be very sad. But I feel that from my practice, I should be able to be sad but still be able to move forward. I think my grieving process will be shorter and easier. I think, because I haven't experienced it yet, and hopefully I don't have to in a long time. But this is just an example, okay? I am detached. I'm practicing detachment, but it does not mean I do not love them. So it's like, I've explained another one. Think of a notebook. It has pages, and we tear it out. It's a not very pretty tear. The page is ruined. Compared to if it's perforated, it has little holes that makes it easy to cleanly tear out. That's how I see learning how to detach. It's learning to make those mini holes so that when it's time to detach, you can detach. But you still have the memory, it's still there, but it's clean. It's not ruined. Okay? So this is just some of my little explanations. But overall, how we move forward also is by compassion. And the compassion, we have to understand Dharma. The Dharma is that everyone else will go through this. You're not alone in this. Everyone will experience it. So, this is why we have compassion. Compassion is the feeling of wishing no suffering onto others, which also goes with loving kindness, which is the feeling of wishing for others to be happy. Notice the difference? So, compassion is wishing no suffering. So, hopefully that you are not, if you look at numbers, it's like compassion is hoping that you are out of the negative. No negative feelings. Out of the negative into the positive. And loving kindness is wishing for even more positive. So wherever you're at, have more and more positive. So this is what we practice. In summary, acknowledge and allow your emotions. Emotions are okay. It's okay to feel. Okay? Seek support. Self-care is important. Okay? Not just go through it. Take time to express when you can. Meditate. It's a great way to help you find some balance, which is the next one. And then it's us learning how to let go little by little. And then we can finally move on. And this is my little acronym for assemble. You'll be wondering how can it be? Because when you move it like this, move the M a little bit, now it's assemble. Because this is what I believe, is that to help us move forward, one thing we really need to do is to assemble, to come together. When we come together, it helps with the process of grieving. So I hope you all practice. It's when you're going through it, little by little. If you're around someone who's going through it, help them when you can. And when we're together, that's what helps us grow and helps us heal much faster. It's why we love group meditations, because it's very true. Having that community or having that group, it helps us grow, helps us heal. So I hope you all take what I've shared with you all, and hopefully you'll get to use it or share with a friend. Now, I open the floor to you all if anyone has any questions. Sorry, a little tech stuff real quick. There we go. So now, I open the floor to you all if anyone has any questions. Oh, I see. Hakus has a question. He says, are there any regional variants about Buddhism from different parts of the world? Oh, I don't know if I want to call them variants, but if you mean like different sects of Buddhism, yes, we have different sects or sections of them. The main three are Theravada, like what I'm part of, uh, Mahayana, like Chinese Buddhism, as well as Zen, and then there's Vajrayana, which is like the Tibetan Buddhism, and a lot of them are actually broken apart from, or they all come from those main three, and you'll see a lot of other little denominations here and there. In general, we all have the same core Dharma belief system, or not belief system. I'd say it's the core philosophy of like not to do bad, do good, purify the mind. This is the core of Buddhism, and all different sects of Buddhism and denominations were all pretty much holding that same thing. As we all look at the Buddha as like a father or a teacher, teaching us all how to be at peace together. And you'll notice that we actually get along quite well. I'm kind of saddened to hear that other religions, sometimes the other denominations tend to have fights against each other, and it's like, wait, what? Why? uh, Human nature is silly. We always think that ours is better than the other guys, when in reality, we're all just practicing in our way. Uh, Funny way that I like to say it is religion is like religion or even different meditation techniques. I look at it like ice cream. We all have our preference. It's not one better than the other because in the end, they all make us feel good and comfortable. As that's the main thing. So yeah. Any other questions or wonders? Yeah, if you're here on Zoom, you can turn on your mic if you'd like, or type in the chat. Totally fine.
Hi, that's Lindsay Clint.
Hello.
I have a question. I was just wondering, how do you typically respond personally when you are faced with other monastics, let's say from the Chinese and like my realization of their veganism
I'm sorry,
and
Futo. I couldn't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. A little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you feel about and how do you respond personally when you are with other monastics, especially with people who are very particular about their veganism, so garlic, onion, etc. They're very ritualistic
Ah, I
and
see.
and almost like, oh, I'm better than you because I don't eat meat and really implement that.
I see. Okay. So for those that might not have understood, she's asking, how do I react when I'm with other monastics, with from other denominations, and sometimes there might be someone acting like they're better than me or something like that, or even with from my own sect, something like that, right?
Yeah, or even like Buddhist followers,
Uh huh.
different
Okay.
the different ones that kind of frown upon you as a monastic because you eat meat.
Okay. Yes. Actually, I go through that a lot. One reason is because I'm young or I look young. So because of that, Asian culture, it's always elders. Elders have the authority. They also have we have high respect for them. And sometimes some people get a little, because we're all human. Remember, we're still human, and defilements are real. And if you're not practicing, it can grow and fester. So whenever I meet some elders who are a little bit high and mighty or a little extra, I just smile and just keep my distance when I can. Um, that's one of the things that I do because where I am now, I'm still at a pretty low, uh, I guess you could say a pretty low rank. So I'm not expecting to be able to change anything for them. I can but the difference between myself and other monks is if it gets to the point where I need to say something, I will. Because that's the American in me. Thank you, mom and dad, for keeping me American. But anyways, uh, so it has become both a good and a bad thing because in monastic culture, you do not do that at all. So if you for example, there's one monk here here in Toronto. We ordain the same day. He's older than me by about 10 years, but he ordained before me by 3 hours. So I must show respect to him. And I'm very lucky he does not care for it. He's like, I don't really care. But some people, just 1 minute before you, and they will act like they are your boss. Or like, you know, remember we're human too. And in the process of practicing and realizing, oh, why am I like that? Why did I do that? Sometimes because you were never the top, sometimes you end up having that feeling. How one of my masters explained to me, Loparata, he explained that many people who tend to be like arrogant or jealous. If they're jealous type people, they're the ones who tend to never win. Like they never got the opportunity to feel like a winner. So they always are jealous, sadly. Like like for example, let's say he's like someone that studies very, very hard, and then when the test comes on, the grade comes out, they got like number two in the class. Instead of feeling happy that they made it, they did a great job. They're like, oh, I'm number two, can never get number one. It's like because they had that feeling, that drive, that they want to be the best, but they're always just shy of it, and then it makes them feel this way. Compared, and also even those who are kind of arrogant or yeah, arrogant or mean to others, they tend to be the ones who have a problem. Like they themselves have a problem that hasn't been resolved. So because of that, it's like that little thing that's still hurting inside of them. So then they make hurt toward others instead before others can hurt them. So by understanding this, it made me look back at myself. Wow, I've been very fortunate in my life. Well, one, I was the firstborn, so I'm already oldest. I'm already the number one guy. Just from that. And then from there, I never felt like I needed to win anything. Like maybe with my brother when we were younger a little bit because, kids. But then even right before preteen, maybe like 9 or 10, I already just felt it didn't matter. I let my brother win. It helped build his self-esteem and actually made him a lot stronger too. and me being the one Asian kid in a Mexican school. I grew up in California. And everyone knew me. I didn't know everyone knew me. And I realized, oh, of course, because there's like one Asian kid in the whole school. It's very easy to spot. But it's where you have to deal with people either, like I had to deal with some bullies too. And a lot of the bullies ended up becoming my friend later because I didn't hold it against them. It's just like, oh yeah, whatever. And we continued on just hanging out. So when I deal with people in the temple or people like monastics or anyone, it really was anyone, and they're kind of being extra. Samaraham, samaraham. First, I go to my mantra. That's my thing first, because my mantra has always been my favorite go-to tool. And then I just kind of I see what they're doing, and then I kind of feel bad that they're doing this. And if they give me a chance to speak, I will say a little bit. And usually it only takes a few words, just a few words to make them kind of shock them back into where they should be, realizing what they're doing. And some people, I could write them a full essay and they wouldn't get it. So sometimes I just simply, okay. Like, or when it comes to just, so here's another experience where I've had people who would order me around, and it wasn't their job to order me around. So, if it's my boss, sure, your job is to tell me what to do, so I'll do it. Okay, not a big deal. Or it's someone who's my mentor. Okay, please tell me what to do. Follow. But this is someone who they had no authority in any way, just kind of yelling orders. I just be still, kind of smile, and then just do my own thing. Ignore it completely. Depending on your situation, it can be good or bad. So, be with your situation, okay? So this is what I did first. I ignore it completely. Or if they come up to me and say, hey, I'm telling you, do this. I started to tell them, I'm sorry, I'm unavailable. Like right there. I'm sorry, I'm unavailable. And then I pick up my phone and start playing a game. or start texting someone, and they're like, oh, what are they gonna do? Of course, this is like, within the temple, but it was only when they did it that way. But at the same time, this group, there was one person everyone knew I had a problem with this person. Like we'd always argue about everything. Okay, it's natural. You'll find someone everywhere. And what's funny is this person asked for my help, but they asked like a normal person. Hey, Lompi, can you help me with this? Yeah, and everyone was shocked, especially the ones that were having problems with me or thinking they had problems with me. They didn't realize they themselves were the problem. And I was teaching them in a way of not really telling them because all of them were older than me. Some of them see me since I was a kid. And all I can do is just, okay. And so when you're dealing with stuff, we have to just try to find our peace first. If we can do something to help them change, go for it. If you know that they won't listen to you anyway, samarahang, smile, and just, okay, be on your way. If it's something that they need help with and you can kind of help and you're okay with it, fine, help them. If it's something that you can help them but it's not like a need, you can take a little bit more time to help them. Just kind of slow down. Hopefully it helps them to kind of switch from ordering to, hey, can you help me? Like, that's all I care about. If you can start to change your language to, hey, let's be a bit softer, let's encourage each other, not push each other down, not force, because that's the message we've been practicing. And sometimes as you start working more and more, you become a workaholic. All you think about is think about the product, or you think about the result, and then forget about the process to get there, which ends up messing up the result. So we're all in this practice together. You will all deal with extra people. So samarang. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay. Oh my. All right, let's see. So I see Kingdom says, I have a question. Is it decided what monks are chosen from the monastery to make daily rounds or to collect alms? Ah, yes. In in my temple we don't do that because we know no one's going to give us anything here. So we don't from collecting alms. But in Thailand or Buddhist countries, the monks do go out for alms. If we know we have a few followers who will come out, then, for example, like in the Suza, they do it every morning now, and we have both followers and people who just know that the monks are coming by, and they'll come and give an offering. And it will depend on the temple. Sometimes, like for example, when I was in like the eastern side of Thailand, they call it Isan side. It's out in the countryside. Everyone needed to go, or else we're not eating. And so depending on where you're at, that's our food intake that day, or sometimes it's customary. But either way, there's usually someone to help decide who will go. Sometimes the whole temple, sometimes it's just this group of monks will go and then the other group will, care for the temple, this and that. It just depends. Thank you for your question. Okay. Wow. Okay. With for Matthew, I will chat with you after. Good one. Okay, and then any other last minute questions or wonders today? Of course, remember you can always scan this QR code or click on the link on the description to contact me in any way, whether you want to email me, send me a message, text, as I'm always happy. Oh, Pat says last meet I met a monk at an Asian market asking for alms by himself. Oh, yeah, that's different. Yeah, every temple is a little different. They will do what they can. Although one thing to check on, I saw this on TikTok last week. Yeah, I'm on TikTok too. And somebody happened to meet a fake monk, and they were selling blessings or selling like a little paper amulet thing. This is sadly a problem in Central Park in New York. There are a lot of them now in Times Square too. And some people, so from what I hear, is they're not as, I guess you could say they're not as violent as they were that or problematic as they were before. But one easy way to tell if you've met a real monk or not is uh, we don't sell you anything. All right, that's one thing for sure. Like if it's like, oh here, take this bracelet, I want to sell it to you. Oh no, or they say, here, take your bracelets, please give me donation. That's not usually how donation works. At least not in the Buddhist style. We don't sell. We don't expect you to take that. It's more of a, uh, you want a blessing? We'll share you a blessing. But if you want to give a donation, we gladly accept. It helps our temple. It helps us continue on. But nowhere do we sell you anything. At most, we might have a like maybe Dhamma books that you can make a donation for from the temple, but at the temple, not usually walking around selling anything. So that's 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 how you can spot them. You can't spot them from clothes or technology anymore because I carry a phone, so that's it's now needed, and people use that. Monks use it too. It's a way of keeping in touch. As back then people would, what do you call, would go to the mountains to find monks. Nowadays, the monks need to come to you. So how do we do it? Technologies. Like here we are online together. Okay. Oh, oh, maybe say she faced a monk that gave a lotto number. Yeah, that's a that's a very Asian thing. Some people do ask monks for lotto numbers, ask for like special numbers. This is actually very this is actually very Asian in general. Because think of a fortune cookie. There's numbers on there. It's just a Asian culture. uh, if they now if they come to you and just kind of like give you a random number when you didn't ask for it, you don't have to do anything. It's uh, yeah, exactly. Just like with those, she says, I would bow and say thank you and then just go. Yes, exactly. I would do the same. Uh, it's just like meeting anyone. Just if it's something you don't want or you don't really feel comfortable, you don't need to come close. It's okay. I feel like, for example, whenever you see a monk on the road, if you happen to see me, feel free to wave, say hi, come say hi. I'm totally happy to see you. But other monks, sometimes they just kind of smile and just not speak. It's not a vow of silence. They just can't speak English. It happens, okay? It's a common misunderstanding. Though there are some monks that do take a vow of silence, but it's not actually that common. They're usually out in the forest where they don't see people. So, okay. All right. We got a lot of interesting questions today. And as always, if you ever have any questions or wonders, feel free to contact me. I'm always glad to hear from you, and also sometimes they're really interesting and I get to share with you guys. So, before we go, I'd like to give you all a blessing. May you all be blessed with happiness, good health, wealth, success in your lives. May you be surrounded by good friends who will always guide you into light, in times of darkness and in times of need. And when you close your eyes to meditate, may you attain inner peace easily and quickly in every lifetime. So thank you again, everyone. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you're watching from. And remember, a smile a day keeps the stress away. So everyone, keep smiling and let's brighten up the world together. So for everyone on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, see you guys next time. For those on Zoom, feel free to stay longer if you'd like to chat. Take care, everyone.